About 60 days ago, Xiaomi sent me this Mi Mix 3, which I'm actually recording this intro on. And the way this all started was I went to a Xiaomi event in New York City, and I got to play with some of the phones, and I used the Mi Mix 3, and I said, I want to review this phone. So I got it, and I've been using it for the past 2 months, just trying to get a good idea of it. And it is a good phone. It's a great phone. It shows that Xiaomi can really do premium devices, which they have done, but there just hasn't been something this good from Xiaomi in a long time. And this phone really proves it. I'm Max Weinbach from XDA TV, and this is my Mi Mix 3 review. So right here I have the Mi Mix 3. You can see it's kind of fingerprinty there. But this is the review unit Xiaomi was nice enough to send out. This one specific model has the Snapdragon 845, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, 2 cameras, both 12 megapixels, just all around normal specs you'd expect for 2018 flagship, which this is. This is not a 2019 flagship yet. So it's about what you would expect. Now, there are versions of this from in different countries, just other available versions with the Snapdragon 845 again, but up to 10 gigs of RAM and up to I think 256 gigs of storage, which it's definitely a lot for a phone. Not very many phones have that amount. But as you can see here, this is MIUI 10. So this is the software that Xiaomi shipped their phone with, their custom software. It's pretty good software. It is based off Android 9.0, and it's fast. It's really fast. In the testing that we did, which you can view over on the XDA Portal, it was about as fast as the OnePlus 6T, which is generally considered the fastest Android phone on the market. Which it's crazy to see something like that from Xiaomi, especially since the OnePlus 6T and OnePlus in general has been known to be the fastest for so long. So on the phone, you have the stock launcher, and something which I personally don't like, so I think I disabled it. These recommended apps. Well, you got TikTok on there. Sorry. These just disable recommended. It's not worth having there, but otherwise it's a nice UI. It's a nice software on here. The home screen has a pages system instead of an app drawer. I'm personally an app drawer person, but the way this is set up is not bad in my opinion. And even the quick settings isn't bad. I mean, it's not great. I personally prefer One UI or Google Pixel software, but this is fine. It's good. No one's going to be complaining, especially at the price range for this. This is $550 price, which is really, it's a good price for the phone you're getting here. So the display itself is a 1080p plus panel, AMOLED, and it's a really good display. Again, I'm going to be making a lot of comparisons over to the OnePlus phones because OnePlus is generally considered the flagship killer. And I want to say, this is also a flagship killer, but it's also a flagship. So it's a 1080p panel. It looks better than the OnePlus, just from normal viewing angles. Just all around looks better. It has, but the one thing this has the OnePlus doesn't is no notch. There's no notch up here. It's a flat top, bottom, sides, all pretty even. The chin's a bit bigger than the top, but the sides are about the same as the top, which is all nice. The thing that's special about this is the clicking. The cameras are hidden in the sliding phone mechanism. So you can slide it down when you need your cameras, and there's even facial recognition. So if I just slide it down, quickly unlocks. So no fingers behind the back of the phone. Just slide down, unlock, which is nice. And it's not anything secure. There's no time of flight sensors. There's no dot projectors, no infrared, anything. It's just using the cameras. So it's not secure as Huawei Mate 20 Pro, the Mi 8 Explorers Edition, or the iPhones. But it's still good. It is still a really good thing to have on here. When I first got the device on MIUI Global 10.1, it did not have this, but one of the software updates I got a couple weeks ago did add support for this. So that's a nice thing to have added to it. And now, the camera, because everyone wants to know about the cameras. The front-facing cameras, let's open up here. They're good. Not going to complain about it. It's a 24 megapixel and 2 megapixel camera. It has pretty good portrait mode. Has studio lighting, so you can change the background. Has everything you would expect in a phone like this. But the one thing that I would say, so DxOMark has been widely considered the best way to view cameras. What is the best camera? Why do you like it? It's DxOMark. People go to DxOMark to check it. This got a better score than the Pixel 3, and I don't think it should be deserving it. So over on the XDA Portal, I have a bunch of camera samples from the Mate 20 Pro, Pixel 3, and then the Mi Mix 3. And every single camera sample I took, the Mi Mix 3 just didn't do well. The other phones beat it every single time. And there was just no way Xiaomi can really beat those companies who have had such a big advantage by doing cameras for so many years. But Xiaomi did come out, like, they did hit hard. This is a good camera. Some of the pictures you can take with it, the super slow-mo, it's just all around a really good camera. Like, even this picture has pretty good dynamic range, good zoom, good detail, good colors. It's a good camera. You can't really complain about something like this. Also, you might see that I don't have a nav bar down here. That's because I'm using Xiaomi's gestures. These are full screen gestures, and personally my favorite gestures. Slide up and hold to get to recent. Slide up to go home. And then slide from the sides to go back. So it's convenient. It's really nice. It's really nice to have these gestures. I would say these are better than the Pixel gestures, which is widely considered the worst, and I personally like these better than OnePlus gestures, which are widely considered the best. So the thing about the gestures, though, is there's no easy way to access Google Assistant. Right? You can't just swipe up and hold, or there's just no way to do it. So Xiaomi put a AI button right here on the side. And gestures are the reason you need AI buttons. I could say, okay, Google, but that just doesn't work out well. Or I could just use the button at the top, or I could use the nav bar. But if I want the really immersive display, which this is an immersive display, you need the side button. Then you can swipe up for everything here. But the side button, the bezel-less, just everything displays, are a reason you want the button here. It makes sense for it. You can hold down on it, open up Google Assistant, double tap it, open up the menu here. And Xiaomi, unlike Samsung, or I think LG, you can actually customize the button. So you can go down to additional settings, and then there is the button and gesture shortcuts. So up at the AI button, you can change what you want it to be. You have all of these settings up here, which is better than Samsung with Bixby, where you're stuck on Bixby no matter what, or on LG, which I think is stuck to Google Assistant. That is just, that's how you do it. It's more convenient than anything else. Sorry, I just keep getting these notifications. It's convenient. Now, the built-in apps, I'm personally not a fan of the built-in apps. I was going to replace them with Google apps, but I became too lazy and I just started using them. The stock messaging app, it messes up. It won't receive group chats. This here, that message right here, that is supposed to be a group chat, but every message I received was here. It just doesn't work. The group chats are just too messed up to actually be able to use. So I had to switch over to Textra, and even Google Messages wasn't working. It wasn't giving me notifications. So I had to switch over to Textra. Phone app, no complaints here. The phone app is fine. Web browser, it's fine. I mean, it's a good web browser. It's not Google Chrome. It's not Samsung Messages. It's fine. It's nothing special about it. Camera app, again, going back to the camera, has an HDR. I keep it on auto. And then you have AI mode. The AI camera, I haven't really noticed a difference in it between any pictures I've taken with it, but it's supposed to help out some colors depending on the scene you're in. Now, Xiaomi does have super slow-mo. This is not real super slow-mo. It takes a 240 Hz video at 1080p and turns it into 720p 960 frames per second. It doesn't look good. It looks horrible, just to put it nicely, I guess, and that's not even that nice. It looks bad. There's not a single thing good about this super slow-mo. It looks bad. The colors are bad. It has barely any detail. It looks bad. Don't use it. I'm sorry, but just don't use it. Don't touch it. Never touch it. It's just bad. I would say the same thing about the night mode. Pictures you take with night mode look just as good as pictures you take in normal at night. It's not worth it. That's why you download the Gcam ports, which are really nice here, and you use night sight. Always download those for any phone, pretty much. If your phone can support it, you download Gcam. You have to. Now to get to performance. In games like Fortnite, I'm a Fortnite player. I'm not a fan of PUBG, but whatever. So in games like Fortnite, they load fast, and they play at a stable 30 frames per second. This is because the phone does not support 60 frames per second, but if Epic Games does add 60 FPS to Fortnite for the Mi Mix 3, I expect it to perform perfectly well. And comparing it to phones like the OnePlus 6, which I have right over here, the OnePlus 6 is just as fast. The Mi Mix 3 happens to be the same speed. It's just as good, and OnePlus is considered to have the fastest phones on the market. The Mi Mix 3 is the same. There is no reason, and I'm personally not a fan of OnePlus. You have this glass back, feels cheap to me. Sides feel cheap to me. Screen feels cheap. This Mi Mix 3 feels extremely premium. This is build quality I'd expect from a company like Samsung. It feels really nice in the back, and to hold, you have the nice ceramic back. Nice screen at the front. It's a nice weight. This just feels cheap. And they're the same speed. It's not going to make a difference which one you get. They're the same speed. So if you're going to try to get one of them, I say go the Mi Mix 3. But again, off that tangent, back to this. So Fortnite plays stable 30 FPS. It's fast. Apps open quickly. There's no issues with it. There's no reason. Like, I didn't experience any stuttering. It was all really fast, and Xiaomi does do this really well. The one thing that people have noticed about it, though, is they have extremely aggressive RAM management. So when I had my watch connected to it, I have a Gear Sport right here. When I had my watch connected to it, if I hit this button right here, it would disconnect the watch, no matter what. Just always disconnected it. So I couldn't hit that. I couldn't clear all the apps, which is a habit for me at this point. It's a habit. And another just little quirk with it. So let's say I open the Google Play Store in this. I can close out both right now. But if I open up both of these again, and I open it from the Google Play Store being open, closes just the web browser, but not the Google Play Store. I want it to close both. Most people would. Most people would expect it to close both off of how OnePlus does it, how Google does it, how Samsung does it. But it doesn't, and it's really annoying. Just a little quirk there that people don't like. But all around, this phone is extremely good. I mean, the 4K 60 FPS video it does is smooth. It has AI bokeh video, just like the Mate 20 Pro or the Honor View 20. It is an extremely good, extremely fast phone. Now, it's about $580-ish, I would say, which that's a good price compared to the Note 9. I have the Note 9 running Pixel Experience right here. I would say, if you're willing to spend any price, go for a Note 9, always. Always go for the Note 9 over pretty much any phone right now. But if you're looking at this price range that these are at, with under $600, under $1,000, this is the best phone you can get right now. See, you have the Poco phone, which is $300, also from Xiaomi. But it just doesn't match in the display, it doesn't match in the camera, it doesn't match in everything about it. This phone is the best phone right now for the price. Beats out OnePlus, the 6T, the 6, everything. It beats out everything. This is the best phone you can get. Now, I do want to say thank you to Xiaomi PR for sending this phone out to me. I have had it for about 50 days or so now, and I've been enjoying using it. And it's a good phone. I keep going back to saying that, but it is just a really good phone. It's fast, good build quality. There are things about it that I don't love, software being one. It feels really thick. Like, this is not a thin phone. Here, bringing this over as a comparison. It's not a thin phone. You might not really be able to see it well, but it's just not really thin. It's thick, especially, but you have the slider. that makes up for it. It's good. Just, it's not thin. And I personally like the thin phones. So, I would highly recommend this phone if you're looking for something in this price range. Has wireless charging, which is nice. Xiaomi sends out a wireless charger in the box, a 10-watt wireless charger. It also has a case, but I'm personally not a case person. Ceramic back, too. So, it has everything that you need in a modern smartphone. It does everything. But it's better. It's way better than any other phone you're going to find right now. I highly recommend this phone, especially for the price you're getting. And now, this is XDA, so we have developer support. This phone has MIUI 10 with Project Treble. It's running Android 9, has Project Treble. So there aren't really many developers that have the phone yet, so the only ROMs really available are GSIs. Those are known to be a bit buggy, a bit laggy, a bit glitchy. I installed the Pixel Experience GSI on here, not a single issue. Fingerprint scanner was fine, camera worked, I had the same type of service, everything was perfect. It supported everything perfectly. Since there isn't much developer support, I would really recommend just installing a GSI on here if you don't like the built-in software. So just to summarize this review, good display, good cameras, fine cameras. Actually, I would say fine cameras. Software is okay. It's not good. It's okay. MIUI it's okay. Good developer support and good build quality. Amazing build quality, actually. Ceramic back, nice glass screen. Just, it's a good phone. No headphone jack, though, but that's not really in build quality. Would I recommend it? Yeah, it's a good phone to recommend. So, there is a new one coming out soon. It's going to be 5G capable. It's going to have a Snapdragon 855. If you're looking for this phone, you might want to wait for it, but it will be a bit more expensive. OnePlus was saying there will be a $200 to $300 premium on 5G capable phones, and I assume Xiaomi will be no exception here. They have a conference at MWC this year, which is coming up in a couple weeks, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Samsung is also launching the new S10s, which will be a big competitor for these phones and even the Snapdragon 855 version, because if I'm right, they should cost about the same price. So, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of the Mi Mix 3 down in the description. I'm really interested to hear what your opinions are about this phone. I personally love it, but I want to hear what other people think about the same phone. So please let me know what they are. Like, subscribe, share it, and also make sure to check out the review over on the XDA Portal. I wrote it there with a bit more detail, some photo samples, and some video samples too. I would really recommend checking that one out, as it's worth reading. It's definitely a good one. It's definitely a good read.